Well, we made it all the way to Friday. How about that? Hello there. This is WGTV Today. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good Friday morning.
Oh,
Glad
boy.
to have you with us.
Oh boy, it's the 21st of the month, and it's the summer arrives today, sometime today. But anyway, it'll be here. Just kind of hang on and wait for it. But it's also the longest daylight day of the year.
Exactly. So if there's anything you need to do, you need extra light. Today's the day to do it.
That's right. Because tomorrow it starts kind of slowly creeping back. But it's a long day for daylight. It is indeed. Longest day of the year. So,
exactly.
Who is on today's program,
On today's program, let's see. We have some video of video crafts taking place at one of the libraries. We have Crime Stoppers. Paige Leonard is on today talking about one of the local crimes that have happened in our community, and she needs your help. Crime Stoppers needs you to listen up and find out if you've seen any of this activity that's been taking place. Wayne visited a roadside stand.
I did.
We're going to find out more about local produce.
We will.
You talked with Mr. Brantley Partin.
Brantley Partin of the Wayne County Museum on North William Street. He's always got something fascinating to talk about, and again, you'll find out more about the museum today.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We also have an intern with the city of Goldsboro who his name is KHARI, CYRUS, no kin to Molly. And he is on the show today talking about why he decided to intern with the city of Goldsboro and what he expects to gain from that. And he's a graduate of Eastern Wayne High School.
And he's
so
going
he's a local individual.
NC State right now, right?
NC State, that's right. He's a sophomore there. So stay tuned to find out more about all of these different topics.
Fascinating young man. I know his parents are proud.
You know so.
Yeah. And you know, they did a lot of the right things too, just watching him, talking with him.
Tell.
Just a smart kid.
That's right.
Young man, smart young man. Kids are goats.
There you go.
This was a smart young man we spoke with.
Yes, he is, very much so.
Okay.
What else is happening? Tonight there's a movie night in Fremont.
Really?
At the, let's see, Fremont Friends of the Library's movie night is tonight at 7 p.m. If you want to find out more details about that, you can call them at 735-1824. That's Fremont Movie Night tonight, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, 735-1824 is our library on East Ash Street. And that's at 7 o'clock tonight?
From 7 to 8.
Wonder what the movie is.
I have no idea.
I bet it's a good one.
We appreciate them doing it, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And speaking of the library, I happen to have a couple of library things here myself.
All right, let's hear about it.
Well, first of all, on Friday, July 10th, the Roanoke Aquarium will be in the Wayne County area with a display and an exhibit, Hanging Around Underground, it's called. And it's about things that are happening in the soil beneath your feet. You can visit the library for an interactive look at soils, underground dwelling animals, and ways to make your own compost to improve your soil. The program is free, of course. It's at the Wayne County Public Library, but it's at the 10:30. It will be in Mount Olive at Steele Memorial. At 2 p.m. it will be at the Pikeville Library, and then at 4 p.m. it'll be at Goldsboro. And this is Friday, July 4th, which is very soon. July 5th, excuse me.
Was that on the 4th, really?
Right, it will be on July 5th, very soon. Friday, July 5th at the 3 Wayne County Public Libraries. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, there's also a blood drive. It's actually this Saturday, Wayne. It's going to be at Goldsboro Pediatrics.
Oh,
That's a busy place.
Yes, it is.
It's going to start at 8:30 in the morning and last until 1 o'clock p.m. That's at 2706 Medical Office Place in Goldsboro. All donors, of course, will get a Adams Car Wash coupon. But we want you to come out and give the gift of life if you can at Goldsboro Pediatrics this Saturday starting at 8:30 in the morning.
Wow. That is great.
We're always happy to announce blood drives.
We've had Dr. Taylor in as well here a while back.
Exactly.
And what a great guy he is. Okay, let's see what else we have. How about a trivia question for today?
Yes, that sounds good.
Young man's name is CYRUS. CYRUS. In 1988, he ran for 10 days and 10 hours and 30 minutes and 35 seconds.
Okay.
He broke a world's record. How far did he go? He ran for 10 days, 10 hours, 30 minutes, and 35 seconds.
How far did he go?
How far did he go? 10 days.
That's a lot of running.
So it is. So and he had to sleep at some point. So it was measured, and then he'd stop and sleep. Then it was measured again. He'd stop and sleep. But he ran for 10 hours. For 10 days and 10 hours and a bunch of other stuff there. How far did he run? That's a trivia question for today. He broke a record. How far did he run?
So Wayne will tell us the answer at the end of the show.
At the end of the program, I will. At the end of the show.
Right.
That I will do. Okay.
Well, Wayne, they're doing some canoeing out at Cliffs of the Noose.
Really?
They are. They're saying come out to the lake for a brief introduction to canoeing and take the opportunity to explore the park's 11-acre spring-fed lake.
It is a great place.
It certainly is. This
you.
particular program is for ages 10 and up. Canoes, life jackets, paddles, all that will be provided for you. They do want you to reserve a spot for yourself. You have to wear shoes that strap on and clothing that can get wet. Bring a towel and a change of clothes. Meet at the lake. Call them at 919-778-6234. And remember, this is for ages 10 and up. If you're interested in learning all about introduction to canoeing,
Wow.
call them at Cliffs of the Noose State Park.
You know, Donald and I, our intern, we were out there the other day and watched some folks out in the paddle boats. That was so
That's
much
fun.
fun.
I've done that.
I love that.
With my family. We've had a good time.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
I got to tell you about this guy.
Uh-oh.
This fella back in the 1880s was from Portugal.
1880.
In the 1880s.
He's a young guy.
Yeah, well, it goes back a few years. But the story I'm telling you is that he wanted to write a book about how to speak English.
Okay.
Okay, now he was Portuguese, right? And the only materials he had to convert Portuguese into English was he had a Portuguese to French book and he had a French to English book.
Okay.
Now, he didn't read French or English, but he took the Portuguese and translated it, and then took the French to English and then translated that. He came up with some pretty interesting things, and he wrote a book entitled English as She Is Spoke.
Here we go.
Kind of, sort of. Anyway, that was it. Imagine this, and he laid out examples in the book about how to speak in English.
Okay.
Of course, he had no idea himself how to do it, so it was a bit foreign, not to use a phrase, but it was a bit unusual for him. Anyway, he described how to decline an invitation to dinner.
Oh, how do you do that?
Well, you would normally you'd walk up to somebody and say, look, well, how about you coming over for dinner tonight? And you would say something like, well, no, I can't. I have a commitment. I can't make it tonight. But here's what it said in the book. You shall stay and dine with me. Though ever so willing, I cannot. Why, whatever prevents you? An engagement on an important business. Do you say the real truth in speaking to me this?
Oh, wow.
I give you my word for it. That's a little weird.
That is a little strange.
Anyway, this book was published and was very popular, apparently, everywhere except in America, when nobody could really understand what was being said.
Sounds like a Miss Manners type book, or
Does.
Mr. Manners.
Yeah, Mr. Manners.
Mr. Manners.
It does, doesn't it?
A formal Mr. Manners. Formal language.
On difficulty of French people,
Okay.
he wrote, the French is far more difficult to Englishmen. I am persuaded to the contrary, says the second person. I can hardly believe it. The first guy says, experience shows it us every day.
Oh, wow. That's hard to even follow along,
I can't
Wayne.
follow that, okay? Going to be a yard sale. That's good English. How about
Yes,
that?
it is.
Coming up on the 13th of July. On the 13th of July, it's going to be a yard sale at Charles B. Aycock State Historic Site.
That's right.
All right? Anyway, it's going to begin at 9 o'clock and go until 1 p.m., and everybody's invited to attend. You furnish your own tables. There's no setup fee. You just go and have a good time. You do need to call Lee Strickland and let her know that you want to reserve a space. Her number is 919-242-5581. 242-5581. Just go and have a good time.
That's exactly right.
All right.
All right, let's go on to today's interviews. We've got a great lineup, so stay tuned, and we'll see you at the end of the show. Welcome to Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Kim Best, your host. Joining me today is an intern from NC State University, Mr. KHARI CYRUS. Welcome to the show, KHARI.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, you're interning with the City of Goldsboro. What made you decide that the City of Goldsboro is where you wanted to intern this summer?
Okay, well, I was born and raised in Goldsboro. I attended Eastern Wayne High School and graduated the class of 2012. So it just kind of seemed like a natural fit. I'm here over the summer from NC State, and government is just what interests me, so I saw this as a perfect opportunity.
What do you think through the years has made you want to be a part of government or be involved in government?
Well, it hasn't always been like forefront in my mind. I've had a little bit of interest in medicine, but you know, politics and government has just always kind of been there. My parents have talked about it consistently growing up, so it just kind of seemed like a natural fit, and once I figured that out, I just took steps to make it happen.
The city is where you went.
Yes.
Well, tell me about your major.
Okay, I'm currently double majoring actually in human biology and American politics. So the American politics is primarily where I'm focusing right now. Yeah, but it's really interesting. I'm learning a lot about the different levels of government, you know, what takes place. So I'm learning the theory, and I'm trying to learn the practice now. So.
Well, tell me some of the different departments or different things that you've seen or things that you've been a part of so far with the city.
Okay, so I'm primarily interning with the city manager, but I did have an opportunity to sit in on a staff meeting and see and meet the different department heads. So that was really interesting, just hearing like reports of what they've been doing over the month. So.
And by getting to know the different department heads, I'm assuming you're sort of getting familiar with what each department does, what its focus is,
right,
about how many staff are in each department, all the different divisions that they have, and how all of this works together as one team.
Definitely.
And I'm sure you'll see more and more of that as you go along. I know I certainly have.
I sure hope so.
Well, tell me about some of your recent experiences. I know you've just gone to Washington, D.C.
That's correct.
Tell me about that.
Okay, that was a great opportunity. I went up to D.C. with a few of the city staff, and we had an opportunity to sit down and talk with some of our senators and some of our representatives and their staffs, and that was just a great opportunity. I learned a lot, got to, you know, just talk with them and meet them, shake their hands.
Exactly.
It was definitely worth it.
Well, you know, you're really being able to experience so many different things, and I really do hope this inspires you and hope this really gives you an overview of what city government and local government is. And who knows, maybe one day you'll come back and be the city manager of the city of Goldsboro. You never know in years to come.
Right, of course.
Or some other department head, you never know.
Never know.
Well, tell me, where do you see yourself maybe in 10 years?
Okay, well, the question...
So you're 19 right now?
19 right now.
In 10 years.
10 years. The question that people ask a lot at NC State is, you know, if money were no issue, what would you see yourself doing in 10 years? And the answer I've been giving to that recently is, I'd just love to be somewhere up in D.C. working with a senator, a congressman, a representative, just whether that's like a legislative intern or, you know, just being in that atmosphere. That's where I'd love to be.
The hustle and bustle of government.
The hustle and bustle of government.
Well, KHARI, what do you really feel like, where can you make a difference? You know, when you're thinking about government, what do you see yourself, or what do you see as something that makes you want to make a difference?
Right. Well, for me, I definitely appreciate the local government standpoint and seeing the, you know, the effects that you have on the citizens. But I think personally, I would just love to be on a national level so I can just make a big impact. And whether or not I actually see the tangible results of that, you know, just knowing that I've impacted people somehow, that's really what it is.
That's important to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you know, you always have the option of starting on a local level and working your way up.
That is true.
So you're being able to witness and see firsthand how local government really does affect the citizens, how the day-to-day decisions and the day-to-day services that local government offers our citizens, how it really impacts them.
It definitely does. And I'm seeing, you know, walking around through the city, just pointing out signs that are, you know, maybe a little bit worn or concrete that's a little bit cracked, and seeing that, you know, that's a big issue for city staff, and pointing that out and making sure it's known so we can get that fixed. I'm really seeing just how involved, you know, government is with the population.
In everybody's life.
With everybody's life, definitely.
And you as a citizen can call and report those things as well.
Right.
You know, you can call and report, and then of course our local government takes care of that. And that is a way that it's a back and forth situation.
Definitely.
You know, the citizen reports information, and then the local government takes care of it. They work through those issues, whether it's sitting down and talking with local citizens and working through issues, because I know you're seeing that as you are attending city council meetings.
Right.
You're seeing how our city council really listens to the citizens of Goldsboro and how their decisions are very much affected by what the citizens ask.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, you know, having that back and forth balance, because that's how things actually get done.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
All right, so you're at State, you're a rising sophomore. Your major is government.
Yep.
We know where we're expecting to see you, or where you would like to be in 10 years if you had your wish or your dream job. So tell me, what do you expect to learn from working as an intern through the city of Goldsboro in your next few weeks?
I really just want to, get some hands-on experience with the city manager and kind of reach out to the different departments and learn what they're doing. And, I really just came in it with an open mind, so I'm just taking in all I can learn.
Well, KHARI, we're glad to have you. We're excited that you're learning more about how your local government really affects you as a person and all the citizens of Goldsboro, and how local government, like I said, really listens to the citizens and what their needs and wants are. And you're learning about the budgets and how they have to be balanced and how different departments have to work to really maintain those budgets. And you'll learn more and more, I'm sure, as the summer goes along.
Okay.
Well, come back and talk with us at the end of the summer. Let's find out how your experience wrapped up and how you maybe were, affected through just being a part as an intern and by seeing it firsthand yourself.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, we're excited to have you here and hope things go well for you.
All right, thanks for having me.
And this is what's happening with the city of Goldsboro.
And then we're going to play, let me see you hold up 2 fingers. 2 fingers, we're going to put 2 beads onto our cotton ball. You understand? How many do we have? Are you guys listening? Miss Marina, she's not done yet. And then I'm going to put it into my little plastic bag and fill it up.
And then pass it.
Our guest in the studio today is Brantley Partin, and Brantley is the director of the Wayne County Museum. And thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope you're doing well.
I am. Are
and
you?
Chris Lawson, I hope he's doing well as well.
He is doing very well.
He is your assistant there, and you and Chris are the two guys who keep our museum going, along with the help of the Historical Association.
That's right.
All right. Now, give us an idea for anybody who may be new to the area. Where is the museum?
The museum is at 116 North William Street in downtown Goldsboro, and it's across the street from the post office, which just about everybody in town can find the post office. We are right next door to that on the other side of Mulberry Street.
At one point, and I think everyone knows this, it was owned and operated by the USO, the ladies thing.
The Goldsboro Women's Club built it in
That's what I meant to say.
1927.
Yeah.
They raised the funds, and that's actually why Mulberry Street is crooked at that spot, because they owned the property there, and when they wanted to extend the street, apparently the story goes the Women's Club already owned the property, so they had to make the street crooked like that, offset like that.
I see.
And they ran a gas station apparently on the property for a few years in the 20s. They also did a lot of other things in the community to raise money. They did it all on their own. There weren't any public funds. I don't think the husbands were involved. It was their project. And they built it in 27, and then the USO used it in the 40s during World War II. The Women's Club still owned it, but they let the USO use it. So I've seen some figures that as many as 12,000 people a month were coming in and out during the war, and that was usually their last stop before they got sent usually to Morehead City to go on a ship to be sent off.
And you know, I've heard those stories too, and they're pretty interesting. And you're right. There was a canteen there where the troops would come in and they could dance and they.
There's the whole second floor, which the women built, purpose built. It has a stage, and so the USO used it as a dance area. And they would have, from what I understand, just about every week there was something going on, a dance or something like that for the men. And there was a whole army of local ladies who pretty much worked there during the entire war. That was that they were just stationed there, and they came in every day of the week and they helped out wherever they could.
That is really interesting, and I didn't know the story about why Mulberry Street was offset like that. That's very interesting.
You can blame the Women's Club.
Well, no, it's okay. It's okay that it worked out like that. That's okay. But where do you find all the things that are in the museum? You have so many, like the dollhouse. Is that still there?
The dollhouse is still there.
Wow.
Everything we have has been donated, and most museums, whether it's our little local history museum all the way up to the Metropolitan and the British Museum, most of that stuff is donated, and that's everything we have has been donated going back to before the museum even existed in the 60s, when the Historical Association was just an organization without an office. They collected things, and so in the 80s when the museum came about, we already had a large collection of things that people had donated.
I'll tell you, and it's amazing what you do have in there. You have an amazing military department towards the back of the building there, with uniforms and with weapons and with pictures. It's just
we
fantastic.
do, and it's about the Revolutionary War period up to the present. That room's undergoing a lot of changes right now.
Oh, really?
I've got a new exhibit. Some of it, the actual objects are out. There's going to be a lot of signs to go with it that aren't up yet, but it's going to be dealing with World War I.
Wow.
Most people, they can tell you about World War II, they can tell you about the Civil War, even Vietnam and Iraq, but a lot of people don't know a whole lot about World War I. And there were a lot of local men that fought in World War I, and a few that actually died from Wayne County, so I'm going to be getting something up about that. We've got a lot of objects from men who fought in World War I, particularly a man named Zeno Hollowell, who was actually mayor of Goldsboro back in the 20s after he came back. So I want to put that out there because, like I said, I don't think people quite understand. 16 million or so people dead. It was an incredibly large event, but it's kind of been forgotten in this country.
And that's a shame because it was a big war, and it was a world war, much as II was.
It was pretty much the reason World War II happened was because of World War I. And out here at the courthouse, the soldier out front, that's actually a monument to World War I soldiers. The courthouse was built just before the war, and they put that up just after the war. In fact, the community building that used to be here across the street before it burned down, that was also dedicated to World War I soldiers. A lot of people had no idea.
They didn't know that. That's right. And of course, a lot of the plaques that were hanging in there were there was a plaque for the World War I. Those that died during that war as well. But you're right. The Doughboy, they call him, downstairs at the courthouse on the Walnut Street side.
That's right.
The Doughboy is a World War I monument.
It is indeed.
Wow. Well, the Wayne County Museum, rather, is such an interesting place. You also have a wall of fame there.
We do.
Tell me about that. How did that come about?
That came about, I don't know how many. It's been years ago. A few people in the community got together and decided to honor people that have meant a lot to Goldsboro and Wayne County, and we've got just over 80 people up. It's just a framed picture of the person with a little bit of text about who they were and why they were important. Some of them people will recognize. There's some like Andy Griffith who lived here.
You know, which everybody knows Andy Griffith.
Everybody knows him, and there are a few others, local people like Gertrude Wheel, who some people might not know exactly who she was, but they recognize the name. But there are a lot of people that you know, people will come in and they won't know who they are, but they are important people to Wayne County, and that was important to us to sort of highlight people that they're not famous. They weren't necessarily rich or famous or anything like that, but they were important.
And there's some people who are highlighted there who had rather an effect nationally.
Oh yeah, there are a few. The two that come to mind. One is Johnny Grant.
Yes,
who,
of course. Yeah.
A lot of people would probably recognize his face, but they wouldn't know exactly who he is. And he was the honorary mayor of Hollywood for many years. And if you go back into the 80s, 90s, and up until his death a few years ago, if you see a celebrity doing their hands in the sidewalk or at the Walk of Fame, and
we get the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
You'll see Johnny Grant. He's the small, bald man with the glasses, and he is always in the picture. He would introduce the star. He did
Michael Jackson. He did Michael Jackson.
Pretty much any of them.
He did all of them.
All of them. He was always there. He would introduce them. He started out at WGBR.
He did.
Here in town,
He sure did.
and then moved out to Hollywood, and he was incredibly important. And he was always proud of his roots here, and he would talk to anybody that would listen about that.
And he still has family here.
He does. He does indeed have family still here. Another person that probably a lot of people don't recognize but did make a big impact was Kenneth Royal. He was the last Secretary of War for the United States. He was involved in a big case during World War II where he actually defended some, I think it was 9 men who were charged with sabotage. They didn't carry through with it, but they were brought here on U-boats. They were captured, and FDR said, I want a quick trial, a private trial, and I want them executed. And Kenneth Royal told the president, I can't do that, and it actually went to the Supreme Court. It was a really big case. He stayed on and became Secretary of War and was a big-time lawyer in New York City for many years.
That's an amazing story in itself, Kenneth Royal. And then went into politics.
He was into politics. He and his family. His son was actually, I believe, I think it was a state with the state
senator,
state senator, or state representative, and Royal Avenue, and also his middle name Claiborne. That was also his family. So 2 streets in town. He also had a brother who was rather influential. Like I said, people probably don't. They recognize the name, but don't know exactly how these people fit in.
Brantlly, the museum, having been there as long as it has been, and you're constantly adding new items and taking some items out. Now, I know you have a storage area. Is there anything in that storage area that, what intrigues you about that storage area? Is there 1 or 2 items in there that are not out on the floor that kind of interest you in some way, or is it just all old stuff that just doesn't matter?
No, we've got... and honestly, we've got stuff that I haven't even discovered yet that's been there for a long time and hadn't seen the light of day. There are a few things that I want to get out on display that are not, and one of them is a rifle. It's from the Civil War, and after the war it was converted. The U.S. military was, extremely poor up until after World War I. I don't think a lot of people realize that, and so after the Civil War, they didn't have the money to spend $20 on a new rifle to outfit troops. So what they did is they took the old Civil War era rifles and they cut them down and they converted them into a trap door where you could put a modern cartridge in.
Ah, okay.
And they were used
When
up.
you opened the,
Yep.
Yeah,
mhm,
okay.
And that's where the trap door came in. It was a modern cartridge. It would fit inside. You didn't have to ram a ball in every time, and it cost about $5 to convert. And we have one that was used up until the Spanish-American War in the late 1800s.
1898, yeah.
1898, and there were some local men that fought in that war, the
Really?
local Goldsboro Rifles. And so we've got that, and it was on display up until a while ago, and I took it down. And I want to get it back out because it's a great piece. We've
Wow.
got some other stuff that, a lot of local business signs, some stuff from Kemp Manufacturing. They were a huge furniture manufacturer. The buildings are still on, it's the corner of Elm and George.
Right.
That whole complex was Kemp, and
Yeah.
they were sending furniture out all over the country, I think even internationally.
Yeah.
We've got some signs from their building, a lot of
Really?
old pictures of the complex. So that's something I definitely am going to get back out on display. Some of that stuff I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's seen the light of day in probably
Wow.
several decades. But it's just a question of going through that stuff and
Yeah.
trying to find it. That's one of my projects right now, is that we don't have a complete inventory of everything we've got. So I'm sure there's stuff in there that I haven't found yet that could be
Wow.
even better.
There you go. You know, there's a lot of people here in the Goldsboro, Wayne County area that worked at Kemp Furniture for many years, and a lot of them still remember with
They were one of the biggest employers
Yes.
in town. I'm sure people driving by, I mean, it was, you had trucks going in 24 hours a day, bringing in the wood, and then also the trucks going out, shipping out the furniture. And yeah, like I said, they were from here to California, and I think internationally. They were, it was not a small-time operation.
It was a big operation. You're right about that. Wow, and there's a lot of other things in the museum there. And the hours of the museum again?
We are open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 until 4. And if you've got a group and you want to come out, we will work around that. We'll do group tours by appointment. If you give us a call, give us a week or two notice, we can accommodate people if it doesn't fit between that 11 and 4.
Yeah.
And we also are renting out the upstairs.
I was just going to mention that.
I've got to plug that.
Got to plug that, yeah.
We've been we've been lucky lately. Center Stage Theater did a whole week of rehearsals, and they did their one-act plays just last week. We also had the Mental Health Association, which you were on hand for that. But we also are renting it out to the public for things like wedding receptions and baby showers and things like that. And I want to, encourage the public to check that out because it's good prices and it helps us out a lot, and it's great advertising for us.
It supports the museum. It's a large area. You have it's accessible by elevator.
We've got elevator. We've got a stage. We've got a kitchen, so you can do catering. We've got all of those things, and like I said, all the profits come back to us to help out with the running the museum, protecting the artifacts we've got, and even things like paying our power bills because we are not with the city or the county. They do kick in some funding for us, but we are a private nonprofit through the Wayne County Historical Association. So those rentals really help us out.
All right. So what's the phone number over there?
Our number is 919-734-5023, and we've also got our website, which is waynemuseum.org.
Okay. WayneMuseum.org,
734.
That's what I meant to say.
5023.
734-5023. You can rent the upstairs. It's priced right. It's a big area. It's a great place to have a party. And if you get loud, it's okay.
We have, unless the post office comes over and pitted, which they usually don't.
They're not going to say anything.
They're not going to say a thing.
All right. Brantley, it's always great to see you, my
Thank you
friend.
for having me.
I appreciate you coming by
Thank you so much.
Brantley Partin is the director of the Wayne County Museum, and he and Chris Lawson do a fantastic job there. So call them up, 735-4023, and thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Today we're visiting a roadside stand here on Highway 7 in front of a major and very famous barbecue stand, Wilbur's. And we're here. What's your name?
James Creech.
Mr. Creech. James Creech is here, and you and Mrs. Creech operate this roadside stand in front of Wilbur's. And you have all kinds of, man, look at that. You have some good looking stuff out here. Now, we're promoting agriculture here in Wayne County, and of course the roadside stand is the best place in the world to get fresh veggies and fruits and all that kind of stuff. How long you been doing this? You've been here quite a while, haven't you? 28 years at this location. Now, do you live in Wayne County or where do you live? That's all right. We won't hold that against you, okay? But look, you've been here 28 years selling these fruits and veggies. What makes a good cantaloupe? All right, hang on there. All right, Mr. Creech, what makes a good cantaloupe?
Well, the soil's got a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
What's fertilizer you put to it.
All right, now when I came out here to look at these cantaloupes and I want to buy a cantaloupe, what am I looking for?
Well, I go to the net.
The netting.
Yeah, and the
all
feel
right.
on it.
In the field.
Real firm. You know, if you like a real ripe, it's soft, but if you like a real firm cantaloupe, you buy one like that.
All right, real firm. All right, this one is firm. It feels good. It's got good netting on it.
Good netting on it.
Good netting. All right, now what makes a bad netting?
Well, it's don't have a lot of netting on it. It's real slick looking.
Oh yeah.
And then you go to the color.
All right, the color.
Well, that'll be good today or tomorrow, either one. You know, or you can keep it 2 or 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Buy them at the beach, you want to keep them a day or two.
Right.
See this one right here, a little bit greener.
Yeah.
It's got a little greener tint to it, and you can keep that longer.
All right, if it's got a little green, you can hang on to it a little longer.
Yeah.
This is a good color for a couple of days.
Yes, sir.
What about this? What about this right here?
Well, they have to smell it in on them, make sure they smell them.
Smell them?
Yeah, they have to smell it in on them.
All right, you smell.
And a lot of them are mashing the end of it. There's a good bit of thumb mashing in
Oh, the thumb test,
Yeah.
huh? Oh, yeah, you got to have the thumb test. well, how do you know? I mean, what does it feel like?
Well, it'll start to give it.
Oh,
Feels a
okay.
little bit.
All right, all right. I like the idea of the color being good and the netting being good.
And there's all different ways. People got different ways of rolling.
Yeah. All right, the tomatoes here. Man, that's some good looking tomatoes. Now, what makes a good tomato? Soil?
Yeah, pick it on the right time. Pick it at the right time. Let's tell them to buy them long enough to mature.
Yeah.
If you pick them before they mature, you're going to gas them, you're no good.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
But if you got to gas it, you don't want it.
If you got to gas it, you don't
got
want
to gas it, you don't want it.
Why would you have to gas it?
Well, they pick them green and put them in these bins and coolers, and when the man gets the order, he picks them out and runs them down the belt. They put them on the truck and they gas them on the way down here.
Okay.
Back of the truck.
And that matures them.
That turns them red.
Turns them red.
Yeah,
Doesn't necessarily
they don't
mature
really
them.
do nothing but turn them red.
Oh, okay. So it's still a green tomato, but it's a red green tomato.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, which means it's probably not right.
It's not right, but it's been gassed and that'll make it red. It'll make it safe. But we stay away from those. We don't bother those.
All right. Well, that's good. Well, that's good looking tomatoes here.
And they are good.
What about your watermelon? Now, I would take it same holds true for watermelon. Look for color and the sound.
And the soil is what grows a good watermelon.
All right. The soil. All right.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell on the outside whether it's a good watermelon or not?
Or either just listen to it when you thump it.
All right.
And
That thump's pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of people go a bit darker they are, but I really don't.
Okay.
Because all watermelons ain't gonna be the same color.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's right. But you look for that. You listen for that hollow sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
All right. We're playing musical watermelon here.
Musical watermelon. And then people come out here with a straw and they top off the straw turns.
Whoa! Really?
Yeah.
If they put you mean like a drinking
Like
straw?
No, a broom straw. Like a broom straw.
A broom straw.
They get a broom straw.
They bring.
Long.
Yeah.
Lay the watermelon on a level table.
Yeah.
And they put it right up here. And if there'll be no wind blowing. And if the straw turns, it'll be ripe. If it don't turn, it ain't ripe, they say.
So bring your broom with you.
Yeah, bring your broom with you because you'll have to have more than one straw.
It probably will. So if it turns a certain way, that means it's ripe.
If it turns, it's ripe.
Man.
They say. And I have had them come out here and take it, pick it up, put it on top of the head and roll it back and forth and they tell you. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Put a watermelon on top of your head.
Their head and roll it. They kind of the same way. The
Really?
same person. Why they do it, I don't know. But they will. We've had it everywhere in the world.
Gives new meaning to the term melon head, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, All right. What are your hours out here, Mr. Creech?
Well, usually from 8:30 in the morning till closing at night. About 7:30, 8 o'clock.
All right, so you're out here till just after sunrise to almost dark.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I appreciate you talking with us today.
Appreciate
Mr. James
you, sir.
Creech. Now, from Johnston County, but we're not going to hold that against you. But he's out here at Wilbur's on Highway 70 West. Come on by and see him, man. Thanks a lot, Mr. Creed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome back to Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Kim Best, your host. Today I have with me Paige Learnard from Crime Stoppers. Do you know what's happening in your community? Well, let's hear. Hi Paige, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me again.
So we've got a problem we need the community's help with.
Absolutely. I have talked in the past about Busco Beach. A lot of people in the county are familiar with Busco Beach. We have citizens that come from different states. I've seen them from Illinois, from Virginia, from Georgia. It's a large area that apparently caters to them quite well. And one of the problems we're having is these people are coming, they're staying in our local hotels. They are leaving their four-wheelers, obviously, on the trailers, ready to go. And unfortunately, we are having some thefts of the dirt bikes and these four-wheelers.
And Paige, you've been giving the hotels a lot of detailed information on best practices, best ways to park their trailers, best way to lock their motorcycles and their four-wheelers down. And these hotels are explaining that and sharing this information with their guests.
Yeah, we have actually visited each hotel. We've taken a look at the layout. We have spoke with the employees at the hotels. We have given suggestions as far as how to secure their trailers, what we would suggest, how to secure their ATVs and their four-wheelers, how to leave them in a well-lit area, hopefully put them in the observation of the surveillance system.
Exactly.
Everything we can think of, and it actually is helping, it is paying off, but unfortunately we did actually have a theft of 2 more dirt bikes and a trailer that I want to talk about.
Okay, give us some details and we'll see if anyone in the community saw anything, and then we can maybe get some people from the community to give us some calls.
Okay. June 15th, we had someone come in from Virginia. They did all the right things. They parked their trailer and their dirt bikes at the hotel, and this is actually the Country Inn and Suites at 2302 Norwood Avenue. They put their trailer visible to people. They locked it down. They padlocked everything. Unfortunately, surveillance video shows about 4:30 in the morning at least 2 suspects going to the trailer, moving the trailer, and actually stealing the entire trailer and the 2 dirt bikes.
We're seeing pictures behind us of the dirt bikes that were stolen. We're also seeing the trailer that has the 2 dirt bikes on it as well. If you recognize any of this information or any of these dirt bikes or trailer, please give us a call. You'll see the information for Crime Stoppers behind us momentarily. And Paige, you said they did all the right things.
They did. They actually took the trailer, they put the gate up. We suggest locking the gate, not leaving it down. That makes it much easier for them to just roll the dirt bike or the four-wheeler off. They did that. They locked their dirt bikes down. We have suggested not to use the canvas-natured lockdowns because all they have to do is cut those.
Right, use the padlocks.
We suggest padlocks and we suggest heavy chains if you can.
Make it much more difficult. Is that what we're aiming for?
Exactly. You know, the amount of dollars that they can invest in those little things versus the thousands of dollars they've got in that trailer and the property that's on that trailer, it's definitely worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do we want to ask the community?
We want them to be on the lookout for these dirt bikes. I know that these dirt bikes that they're actually seeing the pictures of are the actual dirt bikes that were stolen.
Okay.
They're very specific as far as a 2012 Honda CRF. That's the red and white and black one.
Let's show that one more time.
The very distinguishing thing about that is it's actually got the number 495 on that. And then the other one is a 2001 Yamaha. It's a 250 blue in color with blue graphic flames on it. The trailer that they were on is a 6x8 wooden deck with the lift gate, the wire meshes on the side and the front. Very common trailer that we see all the time, and
yes.
Obviously that may not be as easy to recognize, but these 2 dirt bikes definitely.
Wonderful. And we do know that we have at least 2 suspects
At
on the
least 2.
surveillance camera.
Right.
And as of a couple weeks ago, we had a situation very similar to this.
We did.
And we have been, you all have
We actually did recover a four-wheeler from one victim, very similar circumstances that happened in this case. And we did make an arrest in that case. And so we definitely want the people out there to know we're watching, but we need the public's help to identify these bikes. You know, a lot of times we'll get calls about people riding four-wheelers or dirt bikes in various areas. We're trying to get these pictures out so that if anybody may see anything that they might remotely think is these dirt bikes, definitely call us.
Exactly. And these, like you said, have very specific things on it. They had the numbers on it, and they had some other decals and things to make them a little more identifiable.
Yeah, these were both kept in very good condition. So the owner said that's probably one of the things that, attracted these thieves to these two bikes.
Exactly.
One of them is a little bit older, but in very good condition. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Paige, for being with us and sharing this information. Community, if you've seen anything, if this looks recognizable, or if you in the near future see anything, please call Crime Stoppers. You've seen the number behind us. We want to hear from you. We also have a text. Would you tell them a little bit about how they can text?
That text is 222-4230, and when they text, I always try to remind them it's definitely anonymous. The number is blocked. Even though I'm receiving a text message, it comes straight to me. I'm the only one that will respond to that text message.
Why should someone call Crime Stoppers?
Well, the biggest advantage is that I can pay them cash. So any information that they give me that leads to the recovery of this property or anything that really leads to a felony arrest, I can pay them cash. All they have to do is give me a code name, and that's it. I don't need their real name. I don't need their phone number. It's a very simple process.
Thank you. Well, community, if you've seen anything, give us a call. Call Crime Stoppers number or text them, or you can call the Goldsboro Police Department or 911. We want to hear from you. Thank you so much for being with us, Paige, and sharing the information. Community, remember, Crime Stoppers is the way. Thanks so much for being with us, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. And we're back.
We're back. We are indeed. Producer is making faces or something at us there. Anyway.
Signals, as usual.
Signal. That's what I meant to say.
Signals.
That's what I meant to say.
We hope you enjoyed all of those interviews. We know we certainly did.
I did. I enjoyed, first of all, I enjoyed very much going to the roadside stand out here. I love going to farmers markets and roadside stands, if for no other reason, but it supports our local farmers.
That's exactly right.
It does that, but the second and the better reason is the fact that
The
you
food
really
is
get
so
some,
good.
oh my goodness, yes, I love fresh veggies and fruits
Me
from roadside
too.
stands. And James and his wife were so nice, James Creech and Mrs. Creech were so nice, and everything was fresh, peaches, and oh my goodness.
You're making me hungry,
I'm
Wayne.
telling you, it was the big old red, did you see the tomatoes?
Yes.
Great big red tomatoes. And I thought it was interesting how he described the best way to pick out your cantaloupes. Look for the netting around that the cantaloupe, and thump your watermelons to give them that kind of a hollow sound.
You need to hear the hollow sound.
You need to hear that, all right?
That tells you if they're right?
But he was telling me that sometimes people will take a cantaloupe or even a watermelon and roll them on their heads.
Why?
They feel they can tell whether it's ripe or not. I don't know.
Never heard of that one.
I never did either, but he said he sees all kinds of methods, and he's not saying one is better than the other.
Right.
But the one of rolling the watermelon on your head,
That was a new one, huh?
That's a good one. I don't know about that one. Anyway.
Well, speaking of watermelons, have you tried the new limited edition Oreo watermelon cookies?
No, but I've seen that advertised.
Have you?
I have not tried that. I'm not sure I will,
Well,
frankly.
they're in grocery stores right now. And like I said, it's just a limited edition of the Oreo cookies, and the inside cream has a hint of watermelon flavor.
Really?
Yes.
How do they do that?
You tell me.
Does it have seeds?
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
No
Yes.
seeds.
Okay, no seeds.
No.
All right.
And I don't know that they've cut any calories. It's just got a flavor of watermelon for the summer.
How about that?
Yeah, but they say that they're really good, surprisingly good.
That is interesting. I can't imagine.
Oreos and watermelon, I love them both. Together, not sure.
I'm the same way. I'll have to find someone who's bought some and then say, oh, could I try one of those?
It's funny how during the summer, we really do try, or marketing teams really try to integrate all these different delicacies and things that we love so much in the summer into daily food.
Yes, they try.
They try.
They try. All right, very interesting. Well, are you on Twitter? Do you go to Twitter much?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, everybody goes to
The
Twitter.
city
it
has a
seems.
Twitter account.
I guess it does. So does the county.
That's
okay.
right.
All right. Well, if you're on Twitter spending portions of your day sending 140 character missives into either any way.
Okay.
I just read something. No. Why wouldn't you just send out a few tweets
The tweaks is later.
to aliens? It seems that CNN Money is reporting that a company called Lone Signal is using the formerly abandoned Jamesburg Earth Station in California, profiled by The Atlantic late last year, to send tweets into outer space. The first one is free.
Okay.
But Lone Signal charges 99 cents for a package of 4 extraterrestrial text messages. What would you say to an
alien?
What would you say to an alien? That
Hey, where do you live?
Well, yeah.
Which planet are you
Yeah.
on?
How do we get there? Yeah.
How's life on your planet?
It's different. You know, the alien is standing in front of you. You can talk to him, right?
Who said he was standing in front of you?
Well, if he is, you
But
can
he's
talk to
not.
him.
You're
But
tweeting
I
to
know. But I'm saying if you compare the two, if you compare this, don't give me a hard time here. You compare this. He's standing in front of you,
Okay.
and you can talk to him,
Yes.
or you can tweet him. Now, I had rather be in front of me. I'd rather not tweet him because I don't know how he might read.
True, but if he's on
Yeah.
another planet, he's not going to be in front of you. He's just going to be tweeting you.
But he could hit me with a ray or something, you know.
You're right. You're so right.
Take that, Earthling. Okay, but anyway, it goes on to say that you can do this. If you go to lonesignal.com, I guess is the
It's crazy.
is the site. The company is beaming 140 character messages into outer space, roughly 25 cents a pop now. 4 for 99 cents. The first one's free though.
The odd things that we have available.
Indeed, they are. And this is we've only scratched the surface, which I
yeah.
said about 5 or 6 years ago about technology, and we scratched that
It's
surface.
ever evolving.
It's
for
ever
sure.
evolving. I'll tell you what, it's just amazing what we have become and how quickly we became it.
You're right. You're so right.
All right, now I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm not
He's
going
stopping
beyond.
with that one.
Stopping with that one. Thank you very much.
Well, on Monday, if you're interested, there's a summer arts camp at the Arts Council of Wayne County. It's going to be from June 24th to 27th from 9 until noon. It's ages 5 through 12. It's featuring All Aboard with Christine Wright. They're making a miniature train set. Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
And city scene collages with Ashley Bratcher, making a collage of the Goldsboro city scene in the sky of famous North Carolina artist Romare Bearden. The cost is $85 for the entire week. All supplies will be given and supplied through the Arts Council of Wayne County. That's next week from 9 to 12, ages 5 to 12 as well.
Okay.
Arts Council of Wayne County.
Wow. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Sounds neat.
Well, here's the answer to today's trivia question. Back in
yes.
1988, which was, 25 years ago, a fellow by the name of Yanis Kouros ran for 10 days, 10 hours, and 30 minutes, and 35 seconds, and he broke a record. He broke the record by over 34 hours, but he ran for 10 days, 10 hours, and the question is, how far did he run in that length of time?
And I'm interested to find out.
10 days, 10 hours, 30 minutes, 35 seconds gave him 1,000 miles.
Oh my
He ran
goodness.
1,000 miles. That's like running from here to 1,000 miles from here. You know?
Yes, it is. Imagine 1,000 miles.
I know. That's running the length of, that's running from Manteo to Murphy and back.
Yep. Well, you know, that's
Or
like
further.
Run. What was this?
Run, Forrest?
Run, Forrest, run.
Oh, run, Forrest,
Run,
run.
Forrest, run.
Run, Forrest, run.
I think he ran over 1,000 miles.
I guess he did. I think he did. There you go. All right. Well, that's the program for
I
today,
believe
right?
it is. It
Okay.
certainly is. Everybody have a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, we get
There's
to do
lots
this.
of things to do.
That's right. We get to do this again Monday.
Yes, we
So
do.
that's right. Do whatever you're doing and do it well over the weekend. And join us again Monday morning right here. We'll be here Monday at 7 a.m. and then again at noon, then again 5:30, and then it repeats again during the evening hours. And until Monday, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.